Hey Kitchen Stitchers, it is Thursday, not Tuesday, August 5th.
Fifth.
It's not July. I'm so sad we missed July, but it is August. So here we are in August, and I don't know where the summer went.
Poof.
It did, just like that. I'm back to crazy work online and trying to help teachers navigate this new crazy world with all the technology, so it's keeping us quite busy. David still doesn't know when his schedule is to start back with school buses and if they're going to be remote or if they're going to, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But we're healthy, and we hope you all are too. So you were going to talk about...
Mongolian beef.
Ooh,
Which is what we're having for dinner tonight.
oh, yum.
Where if any of you have ever been to P.F. Chang's, they make a really good Mongolian beef. And I am going to show you how to actually rip off their recipe. This is what culinary people do. They steal each other's stuff.
They borrow.
No, they steal.
Okay.
It's actual theft. The first thing was we found some very thinly sliced ribeye steak at our grocery store in the meat department. Not COVID.
Yeah.
If they don't have very thinly sliced steak like that at your meat department, you can sometimes ask the butcher to slice it for you. They'll put a ribeye on a slicer and just cut off a bunch of it, or just cut the whole thing up. And it's got to be pretty thin. Other than that, you can use flank steak, which is a little expensive, but probably around the same as ribeye at this point. Flank steak works pretty well, and you got to make sure you slice it against the grain, so you don't want it to slice with the grain, otherwise it's too chewy. So in order to, I keep slipping off the picture here.
Sorry.
I'm going to end up over here. In order to get the meat crunchy, they actually fry it like you would thin pieces of chicken if you were making. It's the same idea as making chicken wings. So you would take your thinly sliced meat and coat it in cornstarch. Don't use flour. You use cornstarch. Cornstarch is a little finer, and it gives it a little more crispy texture. And the way you do that is you put your meat in a Ziploc bag and throw your cornstarch in on top of that, and shake it really well, and make sure your meat is all covered with cornstarch. You have a pan ready with about 2 cups of oil in it. You want to get that up around 350 degrees if you have a thermometer that'll measure that. And start dropping the pieces in individually, and you have to be careful you do it individually, otherwise they'll all clump up together and you'll get like this big wad of meat that you don't really want to do anything with. So the meat cooks really fast because it is so thin. Pull the meat out as it browns up, and put it on a plate with some paper towel to absorb any oil. Now you're going to need a second pan, or you're going to have to clean out your first pan. Your second pan, you're going to heat that up, not too hot, and this is where the ripping off of the recipe comes in. We found this stuff at the grocery store.
It's not officially ripping it off if you're buying the sauce.
Well, it's a lot easier to use their sauce than it is to try and make your own. And they pretty much only mix up brown sugar and soy sauce and a couple other things, maybe some ginger. And it's a lot easier to use it out of the bottle. So you're going to heat up your second pan.
Rice vinegar and white wine, molasses.
And you're going to put a little of your sauce in, not too much. And as the sauce starts heating up and bubbling, you drop your fried meat into it and toss it around in the pan. And as soon as that gets heated up and as the sauce starts to caramelize a little bit, then you pull it out, and you want to put that directly over, say, a bed of rice would be a good way to serve it up. And that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm looking forward to dinner tonight, and I will let you all know how it turns out. So,
That's all I got.
okay, I've got a ton. I told him I've been trying to get him to do this for 2 weeks because I was going back to school, and he's always feeling like he doesn't have anything to tell you. And so, anyway, so if you have suggestions or something you have questions on, or a topic you'd like to see him cover, please put that in the comments. So much, right? So I've been stitching. I had most of July pretty off. I was doing some work on some of those days, but you know, a little bit, a phone call here and there, or just a little bit of work is a whole lot better than 9 or 12 hours of work straight. So anyway, it's been a good summer. We're all healthy, and I think the thing that I'm currently working on now, I'm coming to the end of, is the September Cricut collection. So I had the July, and I really like that. So I'm trying to get this finished before Saturday, so that I can. So I've got the E and the S. So I'll probably get that finished before Saturday, so I can take it up and get it finished. And there's September. So I like doing the Cricut collections like this just because it feels like you're finishing a picture with every letter and the different colors, and I just like the graphics on it. So that's been a lot of fun. I did finish, I'm a Just Nan junkie, so I did finish the hedgehog, her newest one, and the little house. So here's the little hedgehog. Here's the little hedgehog. So cute, so cute, so cute. These are really easy to finish and put together, and she includes the button so he can stand. Oh, you can't really see him stand, but he can stand up straight. And she includes all the little embellishments. It's so easy. I told you I'm a stitcher, not a sewer, and if I can finish this kind of stuff, you did. There's the little house. It's got this little felt on the inside, and he's got his little hedgehog house, or her little hedgehog house here. So she just fits right in there and sticks out that way. So cute, so cute. So that one I was able to get finished this summer. And I have a friend who did some finishing for me, so I did the stitch along from Satsuma Street. Satsuma is one of my favorites, and so you would see me finish this. So there's the Alice in Wonderland stitch along, and a good friend of mine finished it up into a pillow for me, and so I love the little graphic design on the back. It goes so well with the rest of it, so that was nicely done. And she also finished the little pillow that I want to have for my nephew, Max, and he got finished. It's kind of plain in the front, but they're very contemporary, so that works for them. And it's just a really soft kind of lightweight flannel material on the back, and it's just so comfy and so cute. So I'm super excited about that. And I ended up doing the time that he was born down here and the year that he was born. So that worked out really well. The other thing I finished, you would see me stitching well, it's kind of almost finished. And it's I always wanted to do a biscornu. New. So I'm one of these people who like to do something new every year, try to teach myself something new or learn to do something new every year. So this year I decided I would do a biscornu. New. I know it's a very small thing, but yeah, sometimes it's the little small things that you can do, and so this is what I did. And I love hummingbirds, and we have hummingbirds that flit around out here in our backyard. You can see the backyard here. So they flit amongst the flowers there, and so I just love dealing with watching them do their thing. So I haven't really finished. So this is the piece that is for the scissors fob, and that's over one in the middle, and then it's just plain on the back. And I put the year and my initials in the back. You can't really see them so well. And so I have to figure out how to put the scissors fob together and get some beads to do that, and figure out how to do the cording. And then I have to get a bead for this to hold it down in the middle, but this is this is the biscornu, and that was really easy to put together too. I was very pleased on how easy that was. So it's over 1 in the middle, and then it's just regular over 2. And I did that on 30, I think it was 32. I think I did what they called it before on the back here, so I can't really see. But it doesn't matter what color because it just, you cover it, it's totally covered. But I have to get the bead and stitch it to the middle so it stays dented that way. So it probably won't look like this when it's finished on that scissors fob, but I'll have to work that out. So that was fun. I really like the way that looks. And then I was working on some Christmas ornaments, and these I have to get up to get finished. So I have a friend who is a sewer. She's an amazing seamstress, and she is a camper. She always took my little wonderful darling out camping because I am not a camper girl, and so my daughter loves the outdoors because of Aunt Lisa. And so I did this, and it turned out really well. I was amazed how fast that was to stitch up. I was very excited about how that turned out. So that looks pretty good, and I think that'll be fun as a little ornament. And then this one I absolutely love. So this was a Blackberry Lane design that I got about a year ago, and thought, okay, I'll stitch it up. And then I got David to help me. He did the glasses for Santa. So here's what it looks like. Now if you look at this, they used feather for this, and I used I picked a different thing to make it look a little bit more scruffy. But there's Santa, and he turned out really well. I love that. I just love it. I think it looks fantastic. So we'll get that turned into an ornament as well. So how fun is that? So my next two, I think I don't remember if I showed you that I finished these. So this was the cross-eyed cricket, and it says all things bright and beautiful on it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And obviously I miscounted the center, so I'm really close to the edge. So I probably will end up making this into a pillow as well. And then here they be monsters. That one was a fun stitch over the summer. It's a Celtic design, and I thought, oh, monsters, that's pretty good for this COVID stuff. Let me see who the design is. A Celtic sampler, and it was Elizabeth Needlework Designs. Celtic sampler. So all fun. That was so much fun to stitch, and it was so easy, and I just love the color combinations on that one. So I'll hold that up again. So very fun. I think the only next thing for me to do, I've had this stuff out on my table for you guys for a month, so I'm glad to finally get it out of the way. So I think the next one I want to do is this one, kind of getting into the Christmas mode and trying to get that together. So that will be fun. Also Blackberry design. And I've got to finish this Just Nan one too, so we'll see how that goes. Pansy Mix and Welcome the Snow, Blackberry Lane. Then I discovered a place online that was, they had a bunch of accessory kinds of things. It was called the Silver Needle in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's how they wrapped their stuff. So I kept that so you could see how they wrapped up the stuff that they sent us. And she even included little jelly beans. It was kind of fun. And a nice little thank you note, which she included a little thread puller. And I don't know about you, but I love using these little needle threaders. I don't use them to thread needles because it's not I thread it really easily on the needle. It's not a problem to thread a needle. But what I like to do, maybe it's that cheap Scot in me, I use the petite needles because I like to use as much of the thread as possible. And you know how it always goes. You get to the end of your stitching of that one thread and you've got like 1 or 2 stitches left to do. So I'll use the needle threader to cheat the end of the thread and then pull it through. I also bought these through them, but what I'm finding with this is that This is fine, but this is really thick on this end. I'll pull this out so you can see it. So I like that I'll probably not lose it, and it's a little bit more durable than some of these little ones that they can easily pull through. But see how much thicker? I don't know if you can see that, how much thicker that is. And it's not quite as flexible. I mean, it's pretty flexible, but it tends to distort the fabric a little bit more. And you can work that out once you get it through. But anyway, that's that. Also, the silver needle. I think this is from the silver needle. I found something interesting. I thought there was going to be cross stitching with this, but I think it's all beading. So I have an Apple iWatch, and so they had iWatch bands, and I thought, well, this could be pretty fun. So it includes all the beads and the wire for this. So I have no idea what I've gotten myself into, but I'll figure it out, or I'll hate it and I won't ever get it done. So we'll see how that goes. And then I bought the Bargello Christmas trees. So those should be just something different, something fun to do. This was the Needles Notion Bargello trees, designs by Letty Ekberg. So that could be fun. And I finally did break down and get the Satsuma Street gold piece tree, and it comes with the paper, so it's a whole kit. So that will be fun to do when I get there. I also ended up getting these threads. I'm convinced I'm going to create something for Christmas at some point, and so I like having those shiny threads. So it's they're called Diamant from DNC. See if it says anything else on there. So I just got the package of them. So those should be fun to create stuff with. And I did want to put a shout out to Paula from Portugal. She sent me this nice little gift. That was very sweet of her. I guess she'd visited Holland, and that's one place I've never been, and I certainly would like to get there someday. So I will stitch that up and use it as my bucket list place to remind me I still have places to go and people to see. So that's a summer's worth of stitching and stuff. It has kept me occupied in the chair while we have been quarantined, and I love stitching. So thank you all for watching and sticking with us even though we missed July. Hope you had a wonderful summer. Happy August. Good luck to all of you getting ready to go back to school. It's going to be a weird year. We'll talk to you soon. We hope we get a vaccine soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.